Coach, just obviously the overriding theme for you guys Saturday's game was guys turning down shots. Did watching the film reinforce that to you?
It did, and we actually started the game knowing that they would be locked in on Santi, and very first time we were down the floor, they lost him, and he turned down a wide open shot, and he knows it, and we talked about it. John, same thing, turned down shots. And again, we've talked about it all year. When we do that, it ends up leading to really not very good offensive possessions, and defensively we were really good. We did a lot of good things there, but we just got to play with the speed that we know that we need to play with throughout the game.
Mike and then Madison.
You and kind of the players all have praise for VJ after the game the other day, the charge, the tip in, but also there's kind of a hustle play right before that. How nice was it to see that from him? How does that just reinforce that he can find ways to contribute?
He can. Mike, honestly, we think every guy we have can do that, can contribute, but if you knew the inner workings of our team, what we see every single day, and you watch VJ, the way he goes about his business in terms of trying to be the best, first of all, best teammate that you could possibly be, he's right there. And I've told you guys before, if you asked our guys on the team if they could wish it all for one player, it would probably be VJ, simply because he goes about it, and we always talk about you can never let go of the rope. He's never let go of it, and he's always trying to even keep climbing, and I think it's a real testament to his maturity, his love for his teammates, his love for this program and what he's doing, and we knew we were going to play him. We had some talks with him about what we really needed him to do and how he needed to go about doing it, and he did it exactly the way we would want to draw it up. And with that, we know we're going to need him. I've said many times that there's not a guy on this roster that we might not need at some point in time, so it's important that they take from him that when he was called on, he delivered the way we needed him to deliver.
Coach, yesterday Dick Vitale tweeted that since his cancer diagnosis, you've texted him a prayer every single day, including on Sunday morning after the loss. Why is that important for you to do that, and what's your relationship with him like?
Well, I think we all know that Dick Vitale's impacted a lot of lives. When you think about what Dick has done for college basketball, the enthusiasm, the passion that once he went on air, he has been a huge contributor to our game. That's why he's in the National Basketball Hall of Fame, because he's had an impact as much as any of the great players have had. And then the side of him where he certainly, the speech that you remember Jimmy V gave, and Dick was there with him, and from that time and his involvement with what he's done for cancer, it's remarkable. He has a gala every year that his sole goal is to raise money for cancer, and some of the people some people's lives that he's impacted so many other lives. But with that said, I think God is using him in a great way, and from the time that I started texting him a prayer every day, I said to him just the other day, I said, it's been good for me because it has given me a chance to spend even more time alone with the Lord and what I need. And then I also said, I've gotten so many texts after that game where people basically said, basketball is important what we do, but there's a much bigger picture out there. And I think people that believe in Jesus Christ know what we're talking about, and the lives that, as you get older, as I'm getting older, you see things in a different way. But I really have great admiration for Dick because he's a fighter right now. He is fighting the battle that he had fought he has fought for so many people, and he, like I said, he's been an inspiration to a lot of people, and what our conversations of late, again, they've impacted me as much as I think that he would say they impacted him.
Ryan?
In the last week, last 2 games, you and your opponents have gone on 5 runs of 10 or over graders. What's leading to that kind of inconsistency in games?
Well, offense, turning down shots, and then you know, free throws play into that some too. I mean, there's no doubt about it. When you know, you miss those 1-and-1s, they're critical. Those are critical misses. But 2-shot fouls, you miss those, and you couple a couple of those with the fact that you turn down shots and turn into bad possessions, and if you throw some turnovers in there, that's how most people get runs going, and that's how you shoot yourself in a, you know, I don't ever want to take away from what other teams are doing, because we haven't played against a bad team all year, a team that doesn't fight, they have a scheme to play, but what you don't want to do is beat yourself sometimes, and when you don't execute and take shots and do what you know you're supposed to do, that's helping them do what they want to get done. And I think that's the mental part with players, that you know, players know when they feel like, okay, I feel like I'm gonna make a shot, and when that doubt creeps in, I think it slows things down and gets people back on their heels, and that's what leads to inconsistency.
Grant and then Ben.
Rick, what do you need more of from Kennedy?
You know, I would say consistency and continuing to fully understand what we're doing on both ends of the court at a very high degree, and the details that go into that. We've all got confidence in Kennedy, and he's learning so much. He's learned so much, and but you know, you think about it, he's playing the hardest position on the floor, and he's getting a lot of great shots from a lot of different people, and he's learning that, I've said this to you from day one, that every game's a different game, and learning how to make those adjustments, learning how to continue to play through fatigue, all that, and I would tell you, I think that he's gotten better. He's definitely gotten much better with being alert, more so defensively is where he needed it. And it's not the steals. I mean, you know, he does a great job getting his hands on balls and steals. It's just the overall, you know, again, understanding the details of what we're trying to do. But I know this, he's trying. He really is trying, and I expect to see him continue to improve with it.
Rick, speaking of Kennedy, the ESPN broadcast shared that you kind of linked him up with TJ Ford a couple of weeks ago. What was your hope in doing that?
Well, they had texted and talked before. You know, I mean, TJ is a terrific. He'd be a terrific role model for anybody at a young age that wants to learn how to play the point. I mean, he sees it in a way that no one I've ever coached has seen it before. I mean, he does, and he loves to share it. He loves. I mean, his whole thing is working with young people. I mean, that's where his great joy lies. And he, you know, talking to him, and you know, back in the spring, you know, he said, I'd love to talk to him, and you know, we talked about it, and Kennedy even said to me he'd love to talk to him, and I do know they've had, even after the game the other night, I think TJ took him out on the court at Texas and said, hey, when you're here, this is where you're good, this is what you need to be thinking about. And you know, players, young guys relate to players like that, but the fact that TJ would help anybody, I don't care who it is. I mean, I remember watching TJ Ford in high school playing against Daniel Gibson, who was our next guard coming in from Houston. TJ and those guys were, you know, they had won like 77 straight games, and they were beating Daniel's team. And during the game, I kept noticing TJ talking to Daniel Gibson. I wasn't sure what it was, but afterwards, I said, what were you doing? He said, I was trying to tell him how he needed to attack our press during the game. That's TJ Ford. And I think it's the conversations that will certainly help Kennedy.
Rob.
Just Texas A&M points of emphasis. What are you looking for from Buzz's team?
Well, you know, they're a multiple defensive team, a team that plays really hard, a team that plays with a lot of emotion, and changes, like I said, they're going to change their defenses. We're going to have to take care of the basketball. They're like any good basketball team. You give it to them, they're going to make you pay on the other end. And so handling the ball and dealing with their changing defenses will be of importance. And just, again, we obviously have to get ready for what they do. It's a different game than what we just played, but still, so much of what we need to do is to make sure that we can do the things that we know that we have to from our end, taking care of the ball, getting a good shot selection. We're gonna have to defend at a high level, we're gonna have to rebound at a high level.
All right, anything else for Coach today?
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.